Hello, everyone. It's Steve with Aptera Owners Club. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about Sono Motors. On December 8th, they put out a video entitled We Failed, which is not an auspicious title for a video. And they've been having a rough go of things. This is the day that I'm making this is December 9th. And this is the current price of Sono Group. It's 91 cents. As you can see, soon after IPO, it was $25 a share. And it's bled out about 95% or more of its value, 96.32% of its value since it IPO'd back in November of 2021. So in about a year, 96% of value has been lost. Current market capitalization is $77 million. Uh, so, the supposed market capitalization of Aptera is currently around 500 million, I believe. I'll have to double check that, but this is significantly less at 77 million. So if Aptera falls to this, that would represent a loss of approximately 90% of its value as well. Um, so what's going on here is, let's go to this what's going on page, and there is this message from their founders, and we will watch it a little bit with closed captioning. So they're saying here that we may have underestimated the complexity. They were new at this, and they thought they could do it in a few years. And so this kind of shows you, they thought they were going to start production in 2020 or 2019, and they're here at the end of 2022, and production still hasn't started. And then they talk about how the capital markets have crashed, the energy markets, pandemic, capital markets. We kind of saw the capital markets crashing, back 6, 7 months ago when we made that video about the capital liquidity crisis. And anyways, the bottom line of it is their advisors are saying that what they should do is they should shut down the Sion project, which is the car, and keep their solar portion of their business. So they have a solar integration business where they have this solar integration technology with injection molding, and they actually have some customers for that. And that part is bringing in some revenue, not a lot, but some. And their advisors are saying, you should give up on the Sion project, which is the car, and focus on the solar integration project because that's actually revenue positive and doesn't take as much capital. And they should lay off about 70% of their workers and just focus on this. Now, they don't want to do that because they obviously started this company with the idea to build a vehicle, not to become a solar integration company. So they're trying to save the Sion, and their idea is to try to get the equivalent of 35,000 Scions fully paid. So they're looking for about 85 million euros, basically, is what they're looking for. And they're hoping that by raising 85 million euros from their reservation holders, that they will find more funding. So they actually had a earnings call, and this is part of their earnings call presentation. So I wanted to go over that with you guys. They're showing that they had revenue of 180,000 euros, which is not a lot, honestly. 180,000 euros is not a lot, but it is something. And they have currently cash on hand, they have about 33 million euros. If you look at their financial transparency page, you can see what their bleed out is. Okay, let's see. I'm going to scroll up and find that part. Okay, here you go. This is um, their monthly expenses. So they burn about 4 million to 4.5 million euros per month, about 3 million of that being in salary, then a small part in rent, a little bit in marketing, some IT, travel costs, legal and consultant fees, and quote other. So as you can see, in any company, the largest part of any expenditure is the human resources part of it. So about 3 million. So with 33 million cash on hand and a $4 million dollars a month burn rate, that is going to be less than 10 months of run out before they run out of money. That's if they don't use any money for capital expenses, and they need a lot of money for capital expenses in order to make it to production. So here's their thing. They're here. They've raised about 330 million euros through their IPO and crowdfunding. They need about 130 million euros to make it to their basically their validation models, their pre-production models, and they need another 80 million euros to make it to production, the start of production. So what they're asking their community for is they're asking you to down pay a deposit on your Sion. So they're saying you can prepay the entire thing, and you'll get a 3,000 euro discount on it, or you can prepay like a smaller amount and you get a smaller discount. Now, this sounds like a good deal. Here's the difference. And you need to, and this is what needs to be, this is what needs to be very carefully looked at. And it's not immediately clear because, if you just look at this, you're like, oh, yeah, sure. If I pre-order my Scion and I get $3,000 off, great, I'm going to do it. The problem is that you're giving them this money and there's no guarantee that you're getting a car, because if they do make it to production, then you are getting a car and you are getting a discount and everyone's going to be happy about that. However, there's still a lot of uncertainty in this whole thing. So they said, what happens if we're able to collect the 100 million euros now, but financing for start of production does not work out? See, this is where you find out. Honestly, there's a chance this could happen. We will do everything to avoid that, but not everything is in our hands, as we experienced during the last extremely intense 2 years. As we explained above, the money is needed now to order production machinery and tooling. So what they're going to do is, here's the difference. When you put down a pre-order on the Aptera, and so far, when you put down a pre-order on the Sion, that money goes into an escrow account, and that's refundable. So they could refund all their pre-order holders, and Aptera has the money to refund all their pre-order holders, because that money that we all paid to pre-order our Aptera cannot be used to pay salary or to buy tooling or to buy machinery or to go towards start of production. It's untouchable. It's in it. And so if something goes south, we all get our money back. This is a deposit in which you do not get your money back. This deposit, it does not go into an escrow account. They are going to use that money to buy production machinery and tooling. So that money is gone. And if they don't make that to production, they have no way of giving that your money back, even if they wanted to, because they've spent it. So thus we plan to spend a lot of money over the next couple of months. If bad comes to worse, you may lose the money you paid. All in all, there are some acceptable remaining risks, and we don't want to hide those. Please always consider and be aware that we cannot guarantee to refund the money. If we fail on the way to start of production, we strongly believe we will be able to bring the Sion project to a successful outcome. So they believe that they can make it to production, but there's no guarantee, and that is the big difference. So if they do this, there is no chance that that there's no guarantee, rather, that they will make it to production. That's the difference. And some people have floated this idea for Aptera, saying that if Aptera needs to raise money, maybe all the close to 40,000 reservation holders on it can give them like $1,000. Now that would be like $500,000, which is not enough. If everyone gave $10,000, that would be 4 million. Wait, am I doing the math wrong? Yeah, I'm doing the math wrong. Sorry. So they have 40,000. If everyone gave them $100, that would be 4 million. If everyone gave them $1,000, that would be $40 million, which would be maybe enough to make it to production, $1,000. But that $1,000 would have to be non-refundable. And I don't know that there's a lot of people that are going to be on for that. The difference between this and being an investor is When you're an investor, you understand you might lose all your money, but there's the upside of if the company does well, you make a lot of money. In this case, there is no upside. It's like you may get your car that you were supposed to get anyway, or you may just lose all your money. That's what is the problem with this. Okay, so let's go over this thing. So this is again what they're talking about. This is how much they raised. Aptera has raised $60 million, which is roughly euros and dollars are roughly about the same with the exchange rates right now. So they've raised 330 million, so quite a bit more. But of course, theirs is a full vehicle, not an auto cycle. So there's probably more development costs that go along with that in terms of meeting regulations and homologation and things like that. So they're needing another 130 million. What we don't know is how much more money does Aptera need to make it to production. A while back they said 50 million. I don't know if that still holds or things have changed because they changed their body design to the body in carbon with CPC Group, which I'm imagining takes more money and capital expenses for tooling and ramp up, but may be cheaper in the long run if they go into high volume production. So Aptera's raised 60 million plus about 21 million from the California loan. But they definitely need more money because, start of production is funding dependent. So we don't know what the case is for Aptera, but for Sono, they're saying they've raised 330 million. They need 130 million to make it to their pre-series validation vehicle and another 80 million to make it to start of production. And what they're trying to do here is raise 84 million from pre-order deposits and then try to raise the remainder from additional investors. So here's their plan. They've got this amount of money already secured. They're going to try to raise 84 million euros from community down payments. They're going to try to get another 40 million by either getting a loan or raising capital from outside investors, and then maybe another 10 million from this ATM. I think there's another loan program through the European Union. But so this seems like what it is it's sort of a investment capital raise stunt. They can't do crowdfunding anymore because they're out on they IPO'd already, I believe, and so they're trying to do this as a deposit thing. And they're saying, "Oh yeah, we did this before. They raised 50 million euros through a crowdfunding campaign." Now remember, the crowdfunding is a totally different thing. These guys are investors. They can make money off of this crowdfunding. Just like those of us who invested in Aptera, we can theoretically make money through our crowdfunding. This pre-order deposit thing is just you giving them money in the hopes that you get a car, which may or may not happen. Um, so, as you can see, the markets were not very happy about this news. If you look over the last 5 days, this is when they announced this it's a sort of a crowdfunding campaign. They dropped a lot, and then today they dropped another 17%, 18%. So that's not looking good for them. I hope that they make it to production. They had a great idea and it looks like a good team and they came up with some good technology. But obviously this is a vehicle that's not as geared towards the American market, doesn't have super high speed and doesn't have good aerodynamics or efficiency, but would have been a great vehicle for the European market. Um, and so I hope they succeed in their campaign. I hope that the people that are putting these deposits down on the Sono understand what they're getting into, and I think that they they should make it very clear on this page if they want to be transparent. Instead of burying it in this page, they should put it on this page that, hey, whatever down payment you put down, we are going to use that money for tooling and for machinery and for capital expenditures. And if we don't make it to production, which is still a possibility, you may not get your money back. Okay, so that's what's going on with Sono Sion. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments. Do you think Aptera should do something like this? Aptera is facing the same constraints that Sono is facing. Capital markets are really hard. Investors are very leery. They're having probably a hard time raising funds. They need funds to make it to production. And some people have floated this idea of a deposit. I personally think it's not a great idea, but tell me what you guys think. if they put this deposit option for Aptera, and it came to that, would you put down a deposit knowing that you may not get your money back or get a car out of that? All right. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks to our supporting members. Have a great day, everyone.